this is gonna be controversial. Oh my god, cancel me. Yeah.
What have you found the most useful in your studies so far?
I'm very stubborn when it comes to learning in a classroom, but I've learned that you could take your personal goals and stuff you want to do with your work and just loosely attach it to the assignments to give yourself more creative freedom. I think that's really valuable.
One, studio stuff and the equipment, having resources like that, I think are probably the most useful.
Honestly, the most useful thing I've learned here is asking for help. Like I wasn't really the type of person to ask for help.
Having a good professor is definitely a big plus. People that I'm interacting with, like talking with them about projects or doing a project with them, it creates like a good community and like workflow that is not only fun but helps you like learn as well. I think just time over the years have learned how to like manage time.
The hands-on practice. I do a lot of metal crafting, and it's like very practical, and like I could like imagine myself horror movies and being the one that survives with the skills I've learned in art uni, like creating stuff out of like nothing.
There's one specific class that's really helped. This is my favorite. It's been painting one. Color theory and like working on our techniques to like create like levels, solid objects in our art.
I've learned a lot more than just photography, which has kind of helped. It kind of helped expand my artistic portfolio, and I have so many more ideas now of what I could do.
The way of working alone. Design is like problem solving, and it's like a very broad term. The way I've learned to actually come up with new solutions, I feel like that's like a very good takeaway. I can use it for everything.
The repetition that happens, you're kind of forced to do so many paintings or drawings or whatever you make like over and over and over again. It's a lot of work, but you get so much better.
Has something surprised or disappointed you?
Okay, yeah, I'll just be honest. It's great. I love it. But I feel like there's also a part of it that doesn't take itself seriously. And, I'm kind of a pretentious douchebag, I guess, but I feel like art is a very sacred thing. It's really important to take it seriously. A lot of the times in classes, I get a little frustrated because there's a lot of people who love what they're doing, but I feel like they're doing it for the wrong reason. If you want to do commercial work, that's fine, but I feel like people should challenge themselves a bit more and think a bit more conceptually and less so for a look.
What has disappointed me? Some of the classes, some of the teachers, they weren't what I was hoping for. Sometimes the teachers can be biased. Sometimes the teachers don't seem to know what they're talking about.
I will say this institution has failed me a few times. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but I will say there is a spectrum of professors. Inconsistency with what I thought about the people that were teaching me. Nobody wants that. You don't have to learn from people the exact same way, but that's kind of the point of it. You want to learn from people in different ways, people that are proficient in different ways.
Definitely from the beginning and now, I would be surprised by how easy, not scary it is to just put yourself out there. Like just talking with anyone, and like if you see someone that interests you or like intrigues you, like going up and talking to them and having a conversation, you can learn so much from them. Like with you, for example, I was like, damn, she's cool. She's from Europe, and like she seems like really good at photography. Like I need to like talk to her, and like it would be cool because I think Europeans have like a different mindset. You make connections. I knew that you meet people and stuff, but I didn't realize like exactly how that would play out, and I guess that's a surprising thing, and also what I'm capable of.
I was surprised that there were like so many talented people out there. Disappointed at the same time because they don't get acknowledged for their work a lot.
So I was expecting like the classical thought of like art school, like are teachers tearing up your art and like you're not doing it, and that's not at all what this is. This is we are going to felicitate what you want to do. Like you have ideas, that's why you're here, you have a dedication to the practice. Let's figure out the best way we can create your work. It did cause me a little bit of problem because I was looking for somebody to correct my art style, but it's working out well, I think.
I think in the first year, I was disappointed that there wasn't as much photography stuff.
I feel like a lot of people are like, especially in critiques, are kind of like afraid to hurt other people's feelings. I'd rather you just like be mean or like tell me the truth. Sometimes we need more constructive like criticism than just like letting us do whatever we want. Like sometimes I just want someone to like tell me the honest truth,
Do you think having a degree in art is important nowadays?
No, I think it's a safer option. There's a lot of people who are successful artists by like filming their entire process and posting it on the internet with like a cool hip song. I think it's not necessarily unnecessary, but it's also not necessary. It just really depends on the person, right?
For me, it's very important. Sometimes when you do freelance, it's all about your portfolio. You might not need to have a degree. It also depends where you are in your practice, how confident you feel in the work you're creating, if you feel like you know what you need to know or if you don't. Anyone can benefit from art school, but I don't necessarily think it's necessary.
I think that if you have the right people around you, you don't need one. You really don't. If you have the right people that can teach you the right things and you have the assets, and if you can make the money over time to have the assets that you need to create good work, I don't think you need a degree. What the degree gave me was a community of artists that could give me feedback, but also like network me to more.
I think it is important because it can be a great foundation. I feel like a lot of people sometimes don't know how to express themselves, and not that like you have to use art to express yourself. You can use it to express ideas, and there's really good ways to learn how to express those ideas in art school.
To a certain point, yes, because to work as a designer, it's kind of mandatory to have a degree, especially in Korea. But like after all, it kind of depends on your skills.
Starting out at like getting a degree program gives you invaluable information into that field and like what the professionals in that field are like, get like an idea of like the personalities there, what's expected of you. The value of getting a degree is certainly the networking, first of all. Like you'll know people, so valuable because that's how you get work. More opinions, more development, you get more ideas, fresh ideas, and you have somewhere that you're going to have resources and a place to work.
To be honest, it doesn't matter. I know people that have no degrees and are like super good designers. They just have like this know-how. Everything's on YouTube anyways. The degree is only on paper. The only reason I got my degree was because most of the employers in Norway ask for you to have at least a bachelor's degree. I don't feel like it shows your skills in a way. You have to like show your skills in addition to that.
I guess it depends on like what's important to you. Art is important. It like kind of creates the culture. You don't have to have it. That's the thing, you don't have to have it, but like it makes things easier for you.
What is a misconception or multiple misconceptions you think people have about like art schools and art students and art education in general?
There's a bad rep because I've seen a lot of people go to art school because they don't know what they want to do with their life or whatever, and they think, oh, it's easy. It's not easy. It's probably one of the most cruel and hardest things you could do to yourself.
That it's easy. What else is there? We just sit in our room all day and paint, and that we're really depressed and sad and smoke a lot. I mean, some of this is true for some people, but it's not everyone, and also everyone's sad and depressed. Doesn't matter who you are. I actually thought of another misconception. A lot of people think that people in art school come from rich backgrounds and their parents pay their way through school, and people who like really have to get out there and work and make money are doing other things, and I think that's not true. There's many people here. There's nothing wrong with your parents paying for your education, but I also think there's a lot of people in school that are here because like we want to be here and we have to be here, and we'll sacrifice that security for being here.
The type of art you do really speaks to how difficult these things are, and like people will just recognize it all as art sometimes, and that kind of really sucks. Sometimes it's all relative for people, and I find that quite annoying.
That you can't make money and that you're like starving artist, that sort of thing, I guess. Yeah. The thing is, I feel like I've learned that like creatives literally kind of run everything in a sense. There's so many different types of artists, different types of things that you learn in art school. So I guess like to think that, oh, you won't make it in life, like that's like a stereotype, I guess.
People just think that art is something that's like not necessary in our lives. Actually know that the art is like everywhere, even though you don't notice that it's there and how important it is and how it's affecting our everyday lives. They think that artists are like very like sensitive and cranky and weird. All sorts of like negative things somehow follow like under the name of artists. Yeah, I think the artists like the ones that are actually more open and just the ones that really care about the world. They're just sensitive enough to watch and, you know, recognize everything around them and just express it in their own words and their, you know, their methods.
We're not all potheads. Also, it's really not a a dog eat dog world. Like, it's a community. It's not it's not cutthroat.
Probably that it means basically nothing to get an art degree. You have an art degree and you're like, wow, congrats. What the fuck are you gonna do with your life? You can do so much with an art degree. You can go into creative designs like major companies, carpentry, metalworks, stuff like that.
It's not as hard as other things. Like, it's a lot of work, you know what I mean? It's a lot of work, and like, it's scary and stressful to like put yourself like on display like over and over again in front of like your class.
Okay, I have last question.
Last question.
What advice would you give to a person who's considering getting into art school?
Don't think, just do. I'd say know what you're getting yourself into and understand that it's not all fun and games, and it's going to be really hard, and you have to be ready to commit. Otherwise, you are wasting everyone and your own time. But is it a waste of money if you just tried? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying, but I think it'd save you a lot of time and money if you understand that it's going to be extremely hard. And you're going to be like beat down like a dead horse all the time, and no one's going to care.
Do your research, apply to more than one place, consider what you want to learn, and see if you're in the place in your life where you're going to take this seriously. Because the first time I went, I didn't take it that seriously. I was like, oh, school, I'm not going to work that hard, and then prioritize what you want to learn and feel inspired to learn rather than like, oh, I have to do this now. School is the place to experiment, but at the same time, I think you should know a little bit more about what you want to do before going to school, because it's a lot of money. Take the time you need before deciding which school to go to or what to study. Don't bother rushing things.
If you're just an artist, generally, you want to pursue a form of art, I would recommend trying to pursue that form of art on your own for like a minimum of 6 months to a year. But I genuinely believe that you can always improve on your own. You don't need art school initially when you're starting to get into art. Let ideas sit in your head for a while, work on those ideas on your own. If it's not possible and you need the resources of a school, by all means, go. But if you think you can do without it, take some time to think about what you need.
If you're considering getting into an art school, don't give up. Keep going. It gets better. I mean, you just learn from failing. I feel like this isn't every advice thing ever, but
I have to say, you might and you will regret getting an art degree or getting into art school at some point. You are gonna regret it. Yeah, like there are many ways to get disappointed, but the thing is, if I could go back in time and choose again, I would still choose to be an artist.
Before you deep dive into university or college, take like public community art classes. Take a pottery class, take a life drawing class at your nearest art center. Don't deep dive into university first. Like, it'll tell you a lot about where you'll want to be if you want to go to college or if you want to go to university. By taking those classes, you'll know where you want to go from that point on. Don't spend the $8,000 I see this one year at university that quickly. Try and make that decision before the dropout time comes up so you get your money back.
Get yourself out there, like first. Before art school, get yourself out there as much as you can.
Make a lot of mistakes. Don't be afraid to like do your ideas that you're scared to show people, and just be prepared for a lot of work.
Try to do it on your own first with YouTube and stuff like that. See if you can do it for like half a year, then decide. Because if you feel bored after the first 3 weeks, maybe try something else. I feel like just dipping your toes, trying to figure out if that's something you want to do. I did that before I applied because I was already studying something else. And then I also looked into the different universities and how they do stuff. But the best tip is asking someone that goes to that university, honestly, how is it? Should I go? Should I not go? Because people, especially if you paid a lot of money, will be completely brutally honest with you. And they will tell you if it sucks. Don't jump into something that's a very long commitment, both in like monetary value and like your time and effort. And if you don't feel like going to school, don't go to school. It's probably everyone will be like, what the hell? Not everyone needs to have like an academic background or a degree to actually do some good work, especially in creative fields. So you have like a good start, and then after you'll see like the reality of it. But like, don't give up. I'm Thea.
My name is Ethan Yoshitomo.
My name is Cassidy.
My name is Nicholas Sagar.
My name is Mia Charderisky.
My name is Yelen.
My name is Oz Watson.
My name is Fraser Moore.
My name is Megan Bierman Brophy.
I study product design.
I'm a third-year photography student.
I'm studying photography.
Photography.
Integrated media.
I'm studying metal art and design.
I am in the first year of the drawing and painting major.
I study photography.
I'm studying drawing and painting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my god, that's love.
It's your flaws that make you beautiful.
Thank you.
We're done then. Thank you.